Unity is a game development engine that makes game making easy for both professionals and individuals. Now I know what you're thinking, I can't make video games, I'm not a programmer. Well, neither am I. I've got approximately 2/3 of a theater degree and I'm about to make 2019's Game of the Year. Let's do this thing. First, we're going to need to download Unity. To do this, Google download Unity. Click on the link that says download Unity. Wow, you're nailing this already. From there, click on the link that says choose your Unity download. Let's go with personal. Lie about having read the terms of service, then download. 5 or so minutes later, bam, you've got Unity. You're basically a professional game dev already. Open up the application. We're going to be making a 2D project today because we're artists, and artists only make games in 2D. Let's get started. Every video game needs a protagonist. We're going to be using my dog, Oliver, because look at him, he deserves it. Go to your project window, right-click, and create a new folder. Label it Sprites. I'm going to click and drag my photo of Oliver into that folder. Now, move up to the hierarchy window. Right-click, create 2D object sprite. Once you've created the object, move into the inspector window inside the sprite renderer section and set our sprite to our image of Oliver. You can also drag the image from the project window directly into this slot within the sprite renderer. And just like that, our game has a main character. That said, Object 1 isn't a great name for a video game protagonist, so we're going to be calling him Cliff Gunblaze. Right now though, this is less of a video game and more of a static picture of my dog. We need to be able to move him around the screen. For that, we're going to have to
get into some coding.
To make a new script, go down to the bottom of the inspector window and click Add Component. You can think of a component as a chunk of code that Unity has already written for you. Components can be used to do things like add gravity or hitboxes. We're going to add a rigid body and a collider. But for our movement, we're going to be creating our own component. Type in New Script. I've already created a movement script, which I've called Movement Script. Let's take a look at it. Now, an if statement is a conditional statement, which along with conditional expressions and conditional script performs a written action programming language, which will perform different computations of actions to be set in time.delta time, which Okay, let's try this again. This checks to see whether or not something is happening. This checks to see whether that something is the keyboard being pressed. This checks to see if that key is the up arrow. Assuming all of these things are true, then this makes Cliff Gunblaze move upward. Now just repeat that 4 times, making slight adjustments for every other direction. Ta-da, you can move them with the arrow keys. Wow, you've made a game where you can walk around and nothing happens. Congratulations, you've basically made Firewatch. That's not good enough for us though, we're making a real game for real gamers, and that means we need an objective. Time to learn about
collision.
First, let's make our objective. We can do it the same way we made our protagonist, but this time we'll use this image of a tennis ball. Because Cliff Gunblaze may be a grizzled, brooding antihero, but he's also a very good boy. Once we have our objective, we can add our code. We're going to be using the onCollisionEnter2D function. Think of a function as an if statement's hot older brother who got ripped over summer break. We can use it to see if our object is touching any other objects, and if it is, we can use an if statement to see which specific object we're touching. There's a few different ways to do this, but one of the simplest is to check the object's name, like so. Now we just need to tell our objects what to do upon collision. To do that, we'll put a destroy game object inside the if statement. Play your project. Congratulations, you've made a video game!